Gromphotorina portentosa, or the Madagascar hissing cockroach, is one of the largest species of cockroaches. They can grow up to 2 or 3 inches long and 1 inch wide at full maturity. They are invertebrates and typically weigh up to 0.8 ounces. They are a member of the largest phylum Anthropoda and the largest class, Insecta. They are native to Madagascar off the coast of Africa, and they can be found underneath bark, mud, or inside rotting logs. The Madagascar hissing cockroach is also a popular pet. Unlike most cockroaches, the Madagascar hissing cockroach is wingless. They are shiny, brown, and oval shaped with a hard exoskeleton. They are great climbers and can even scale smooth glass, such as a clear cage. Because of their climbing ability, it is a common practice for roach owners to put Vaseline around the rim of their enclosure to prevent them from escaping. This species displays sexual dimorphism, meaning the males and females look different from each other. This is a male cockroach. Notice the thicker, hairier antennas, as well as the bumps protruding from the top of his head. These bumps are known as his horns. Males use these horns in aggressive encounters with other males, often in a dueling function to establish dominance among other cockroaches. This is the female. Notice the absence of her horns, as well as her antennas. Compared to those of the male, her antennas can be described as thin and almost dainty. Finally, the females do not exhibit the aggressive behavior that the males do. The Madagascar hissing cockroach exhibits hemimetabolous metamorphosis, or incomplete metamorphosis. This means that they will not undergo a complete transformation as they become adults, but rather undergo a gradual change from nymphs to adults. The life cycle is not entirely complicated, but it is still interesting. It all starts when an egg cell from the female and a sperm cell from the male fuse to create a zygote. These zygotes are kept inside eggs, inside an egg case, the ootheca. Most cockroach species will deposit the ootheca outside of the body somewhere, but the Madagascar hissing cockroach female will carry the ootheca inside of her abdomen for about 60 days until the nymphs are ready to emerge. When the nymphs are ready to emerge, the ootheca will break open and the nymphs will crawl out of the female's abdomen. At this point, the nymphs are in their first instar, or stage between molts. The nymphs will then molt into their second instar. Then they will molt again into the third instar. Then they will molt again into the fourth instar. This is when they will be able to hiss for the first time. They will then molt 2 more times into the 5th and 6th instars, reaching adulthood in the 6th. This is when they reach sexual maturity, and they will not molt again for the entirety of their lives. The nymphs at birth, as seen here, are often solid white or transparent. The female cockroach can release up to 60 offspring at a time. This species of cockroach will often stay with their young for a long period of time after birth. The roaches are also white after each molt, as the chitin in their exoskeleton has not yet hardened. They are only this color for a few hours before their exoskeleton hardens and they develop their brown color. In captivity, they are known to live for about 5 years, as opposed to the wild, which is typically only a couple years. They mostly die off due to predators or environmental factors in the wild. They feed primarily on fruit, plant matter, and vegetative material, but they're not picky. Some pet owners will even feed the cockroaches high-protein dog food. The Madagascar hissing cockroach, as can be guessed, is characterized by its hissing sound. The hissing sound comes from what are called spiracles along the thorax and abdomen, which are just little holes they breathe through, and when they forcefully push air through these holes, the hissing sound is created. The air comes out of the 4th segment of the roach's abdomen. The hissing sound this cockroach makes has 3 functions: disturbance, female attractant, and aggressive fighting. The hissing shown a moment ago was from disturbance. Only males use the female attracting and aggressive fighting hiss. The fighting hiss is used to challenge other males in order to assert dominance over a certain territory. Rival roaches will ram each other with their horns and unleash their fighting hiss during their fight. The winning roach hisses more than the loser, thereby expressing their dominance. In the mating hiss, the male roach gives off an alarming cry that attracts females towards him. The mite species, Grumphato or Laylap schaferi lives only on the Madagascar hissing cockroach, along the legs and undersides of the roach. They often take the roach's food and consume particles along its body. The mites extend the life of the cockroach by keeping it clean and ensuring mold doesn't grow on it. They eat saliva and organic debris that collects between the roach's legs. This relationship between the roach and the mite is a form of commensalism, as both species benefit from this relationship. Madagascar hissing cockroaches can be kept as pets. They are usually kept in small enclosures and require areas where they can hide from light. They prefer warmth and cannot function in cold weather. The roaches are also nocturnal and become more active and scavenge for meals at night. Thank you for watching, and I hope you are able to learn something about these amazing creatures.